Hey, what's up, guys? This is Charles Sabiaga, your host for On the Go Voice podcast. And yeah, as you're reading right now, that's right, I have decided to move on. And I'm moving on. So, I'm moving on into putting On the Go Voice podcast, On the Go Voice itself, into its individual brand, right? I think it's been too associated with my name, and I want to be able to use the platform to leverage and create content that's specifically focused into the purpose of the actual brand itself. So I'm going to give a little story about where I actually started with this thing. On the Go Voice was essentially a platform I decided to create a year ago in 2019, and it was essentially meant to voice the younger youth, to bridge the platforms, to create a platform for the younger people to voice what they're essentially passionate about. Also, to sway away from all of the unnecessary news that we see today. Like, who cares about, listening to Keeping Up with the Kardashians? No offense. Like, I think they're wildly successful. However, they've gained enough attention, and I think we need to focus more on people that's going to be coming up next and helping those people up. And I think that's ultimately what the brand was about. Although I first started with a podcast, I got quickly into trying to make this podcast into something I can monetize off. And that's when I realized I was doing about it wrong way, because I was fighting with my own internal self, where I was like, how do I monetize where I was more passionate when I was contributing to something bigger than myself, the people that I can contribute back to? It was essentially something I didn't want to even get paid for. It was for the younger generation, and that's what it was. So what we're going to refer to this now is called OTGV, On the Go Voice. And that's what you'll probably hear from me as well when I refer to it with my personal account. And I'm actually made a new Facebook page. I made a new Instagram. I made a new YouTube. I made a new Twitter. It's already been on, but I'm gonna put more content on that has nothing or less to do with me, but more to do about the people and content that we create together, where it's about the people we're interviewing and also the topics that we tackle, and as well as the discussions, because I realize that people might get the wrong distinction that Charles Sabiaga is On the Go Voice, although that is me, the creator. However, I wanted that to be able to extend itself, because the podcast was only an extension of what this brand is all about. And I think I see far something greater. I spent a couple of days, kind of just, or actually weeks, just trying to reflect what this brand meant to me, what I really want to do with it, what kind of legacy that I wanted to be able to build outside of myself as just Charles. And working with other people now, I realized where my passion lies, and I want to be able to give back to this thing. So with that being said, what OTGV will be now is highlighting our generations of today. Literally, on the go means now, and it was actually meant to capture vulnerable moments and the current moments of what people were experiencing, versus just trying to get people who are already over leveraged. Instead of just doing that, why not try to make a content and then try to flip that where it can create attention towards those that need to be created attention to. So with that being said, the voice that I added on was me realizing that, this platform is all about voicing. It's not just the actual audio. It's about the amplification of the voices that we put in together and creating that sense of fulfillment and creating a bridge, you might even say. I think that's what I kind of see this as a bridge towards multiple platforms. And that's ultimately what I want to do. It's more about what kind of communities are being linked together. And I think that's where I see the brand being able to do in the future. So that's what it's going to be about, which brings me back to the series that I included. Some people mentioned to me it was kind of confusing. They thought that I must be kind of lost or trying to figure things out, when actually I decided to do that because from the start, I wanted to be able to tackle a variety of niches and categories that are out of my specializations, so that I can create this news media company or organization. That's essentially what it was. So with that being said, some of the contents that you will be beginning to see is, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up, is that some of the podcasts that I've actually had, I had artists who did ciphers and freestyles. So that was part of the creative aspect. And I want to be able to introduce that, where we take on different artists or different, not just hip hop and music artists, right? Or anybody who's in that flow state of mind, but I'm talking about creativity itself. How can we tackle that as a broad perspective where we can look at it from different viewpoints and just be educated in such a way where it stimulates us and connects us individually as younger people? So yes, if you're the type of person who is absolutely hungry to learn stuff and is always trying to be curious, like how I was, and I thought it was a bad thing, this might be a perfect platform for you to tune into, which essentially in the future I have more plans to be able to make it more of a rewarding experience for people. And on top of that, if your personal values align with it, you should totally follow it. So if you follow this content, what you'll be looking for is a younger generation content. I plan to do a couple of giveaways. Not sure how I might structure it, but it is something I want to be consistent about. I want people to be involved, part of this community, and I think the distinguishing factor that makes me stand out from all the other news media companies, or that I plan to distinguish myself from, is the amount of engagements and involvements within the actual community itself. Because most of those companies, yeah, sure, they'll post something, but they don't really connect with and what I mean by connect is that there actually a person in there. Is there actually a person connecting with them, not just a computer based on a brand? Like, the brand is cool, but like, well, how can we get people involved? That's ultimately what I want to introduce to it as well. And on top of that, you can consider it also a way to see other communities and a support group. I think that's one of the things that I felt that was missing in my life, and I wanted to allow that for people to have this sense of support, to go through this thing where there's different people, but then you feel a sense of support. So that's kind of one of the vibes that I want to be able to bring out with OTGV. And you'll see a lot of different creative folks and ambitious people creating stuff. I'm all about that. I love being able to see other people create stuff. So I'm actually going to be partnering up with a bunch of other people that is with the brand, but could be extended into the podcast. So that would be some of the content. You'll also see the brand connecting with other platforms as well. So keep an eye out for that. If you're at this video watching this, or if you're at the audio for any podcast listeners, I'm doing a giveaway. So if any of this resonates with what you want, or if any of the message, what I have with On The Go Voice resonates with where you're trying to be at in life, or where your interest lies, what I'm going to do is, for this post, and if you're listening to the podcast, make sure to click on the profile, and what you're going to do is follow On The Go Voice, and in the post that I have it on, go ahead and tag 3 friends. This is how you participate. And I'm going to do 4 prizes. So first one will be $50, either through cash or Venmo or PayPal, whatever works. Second one will be a $25 gift card to Amazon, and then a $15 gift card for Amazon, and a $10 gift card for Starbucks. So something simple, allows people to get involved. So get involved with that if you're listening to this. Other than that, this giveaway will end by the end of May. So if this is something that you see yourself aligning with and you'd like to support and also be a part of it and see where it lies and goes, go ahead and give that follow. Other than that, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. So have a great rest of your day.